Hey everyone, Wander here, and welcome to Revolution Idle. It is a game about watching loops loop, and loop for more resources, to buy more loops to give you more resources. So we can spend resources on, I think this increases the lap speed of red, so it goes just a little faster. I'm really gonna turn down that sound effect a little bit. I like the music, the donks might get in my head a little bit. Okay, anyway, so this is functionally what the game is. However, there are layers and layers and layers of the thing to the point where this is not at all what the game is by the time you get to the end. This is the tarot update from, I guess, a couple of weeks ago that added elements, an element talent tree kind of sort of, tarot cards, tarot upgrades. It's fascinating seeing an incremental game go from this to this and wondering how the heck does it get there? But that's neat. Anyway, it's made by Oni Gaming, who are kind enough to reach out and sponsor this video, and as part of that, they want me to highlight a couple of things. Oh, we don't have it. We have to have 5 minutes of game time. Okay, so I'll get to that in a little bit. They've got a code that they want me to share, but for now, let's start an orange line. Holy smokes, that is slow. But that is fine, we can just keep getting red. So every time red ticks up, we are getting... Okay, is it 2.4? Oh, is it going up? Okay, so we're getting roughly 2.6, 2.7 per loop, and as we scale this up, we get more and more loops, which scales up our income slowly, which is then multiplied by orange, I think? I don't know, we'll have to play around with this and see where it goes. Let's see. I'm just going to kind of look at things while currency stacks up, otherwise I'm just going to be sitting there. There's a lot of achievements, statistics tracking. Okay, unlock it first affinity, or first infinity, first eternity, first unity, and something's got to unlock this. Okay, so we don't get access to those for some time yet, and progress to next infinity is going to take a while. Okay. I'm going to slowly speed up that orange. Actually, not even slowly, it's going up pretty quick. So every time red cycles, the multiplier goes up by 0.01. I think that's actually true of each of these. I don't know what ASC power exactly stands for. Oh, I guess that is just their base power, period. And so as these go, they multiply off of each other. So as we get more and more and more of these loops become that much more valuable. I'm assuming this is going to be one of those that you prestige a heck of a lot. And by doing so, you scale up. Okay. Well, what else do we have? Oh, well, I don't have the daily reward, because I wiped my save beforehand. Daily reward is a reward system. Every day you log into the game, rewards automatically awarded after 24 hours. Alright, I should fully mention that this is free. This is a free incremental game rather than anything else. It does mean that it has some basic cash shop stuff, so you can buy a starter pack that gives you a bunch of multipliers, and then there's a shop that gives you even more, if you so choose to do so. It seems pretty doable without. I'm assuming the multipliers just give you speed, which, I mean, honestly, like, looking at this, $5 for the starter pack is fairly reasonable. I mean, I've spent a lot more on other games. I will tell you that much. Let's see. Yeah, do we want to grab... I should probably save up for this. Because once we start getting that yellow multiplier going, probably painfully slowly, that'll give us further multipliers. Oh, laps per second 5.2 plus 0.2 per 0.1, 0.07. So it seems like the orange, yeah, does scale slower, but since it's a further multiplier on top of everything else, it's well worth investing in rather than just focusing on red. Because that's effectively base value multiplier 1. It all stacks. It's charming. I don't think I've ever seen an incremental game do exactly this, where you're effectively just managing layers of multiplicative boosts. Like, many of them have it, sure, but never so, like, immediately upfront about it, if that makes sense. I do wonder if I can get the red to the point where it's actually kind of hard to look at. Then again, I mean, it goes up to power level 100, yeah, so it probably eventually just becomes a solid circle or something. I'm still thinking I just keep pushing red for a little while. until it becomes, like, too expensive to buy anything else. I guess what I should do is probably just buy whatever the cheapest option is whenever it pops up, because that is almost assuredly going to be the easiest way to profit. Because unlike other games, where it is actually sometimes better to reach for the more expensive one, in this case, it probably still is, but the more I've boosted this, the more it increases that base level multiplier gain. And so I'm not actually sure which is more valuable from a, like, investment perspective. Oh, hey, the shop is finally opened up. So we've got a couple of codes that we can put in. First and foremost, this is a code I found on the Steam discussions page. I don't know if it's going to stick around, but Wish for Both is still valid, so we get 5,000 souls, and 15 minutes of time flux, which we haven't messed around with. And the code that that Oni Gaming wants me to show off is, that's not it, Go Revo, which is the new code that they've added that gives you 2,000 souls, which can be spent on a variety of things like income boosters, multipliers, laps per second, or ascension power, which I don't know what any of those do yet. You can also buy skins, which actually look really nice. When I first saw this game, I thought, man, this actually would be really good if they somehow mixed it. Dragon Eye seems interesting, but eh. Ooh, Black Hole. Washing machine. I feel like this game would actually work really well as a visualizer more than anything else. And then we also have packs if we want to buy some more souls and get really far. Starter pack. Okay, so I think this is the one that was being advertised in the main menu. I will probably pick up that starter pack, actually. Give me a second. All right, there we go. So now we've got that. What is this? Boost window. So time flux gain, multipliers. So we don't have any ascension power, but this is... Oh my gosh, what has happened? I left this game running for a little bit, and now we are popping off in a big way. We also seem to have turned into circles. Let me go back to shop skins. Oh, we were on orbital. Somehow we'd swapped that one. I think I prefer this. Okay, well, I have more resources than I know what to do with. Oh, cool. So I can also just press the B key here. And that just buys every available upgrade that I possibly can. Presumably starting from cheapest to most expensive. And so yeah, I can just keep mashing B over and over and over again. We are still only like 1% of the way towards infinity, which is absolutely wild to me. But yeah, this popped off extremely fast. I do recognize that maybe the booster did speed things along a bunch. I mean, it doubled my income and increased my multipliers and laps per second. So yeah, go figure. That's a big boost. But I mean, big boost helps. Hey, we've got this. Solid circle, 10 laps. Gets me some time flux. So we do have time flux, which we could use. So you can get time flux from rewards, but you can also get it from just being offline. Offline flux per hour. And yeah, you can convert this stuff over to... You can effectively step away from the game and then speed your game up substantially for a while. I think I'm going to leave that alone for at least a little while. Oh, B probably just buys one of each upgrade if possible, rather than spends all of your money on as many upgrades as it can. Maybe. Still, it's worth it. Okay, we're just going to buy whatever I can possibly get my hands on and slowly scale to infinity, which honestly, I was expecting once we get up to this point where we're just like getting 1,000, 3,000 per second, give or take. I would have expected getting closer to progress to infinity, but it might be one of those where it's actually a the percentiles logarithmic scale. Because previously, like when we were getting almost nothing, we were 0.8. We've only doubled that percentage since, but I think this is kind of a tracker of like, how long do you have before you hit that? Though it seems like it's accelerating, so maybe I'm wrong on that one. Well, do we scale up to 1 million? Yeah, let's get the turquoise ascension. Or whatever ASC means. Can I actually check? Okay. Able to ascend it. No, so it is just ascend. Okay. And then eventually we can prestige. Recommended at 10 times prestige multiplier. Oh, that's a nice little help system. So what else do we have? We have a leaderboard. I'm probably not going to be anywhere close to that. There's also secrets, which is wild, but we'll leave that. Buy a couple of those, and then back to buying regular upgrades. I just want to get the turquoise running. Because I think even just getting one of those is huge. Even if I guess it's ultimately just amounting to a 1% bonus to everything I already have. That's still a lot. Because we went from like 3,000 per rev to 14,000 per rev. But some of that might just be the amount that we've stacked in here. This is a surprisingly active, idle, incremental game. I've been playing, I mean, a lot of them for the last year. I don't know, incremental games are kind of my comfort food when I have nothing better to do, or if I'm just like really relaxing, or really want to relax and don't want to play something stressful. I think part of this is a reaction to games like maybe Hades, maybe some other ones. Games that actually require you to like put a lot of time and effort into mastering their mechanics so you even have a chance at winning. Oh, you know how I said eventually red is going to become goofy looking? It just becomes a flat circle after a while. I knew it had to do something like that. But like, as much as I love games like Hades and Spelunky and Dark Souls, Elden Ring, Bloodborne, that kind of thing, games where you really have to like learn how to master them, I think I've become a little tired of being asked to constantly get good and like master a new system over and over and over again. And, you know, that mastery is enriching. You know, it's really fun to be able to like really master a game, get so good at it that it does not challenge you anymore. But also that takes a lot of time, effort, practice, and patience. And some games just like never get there. I'm sure if I put some more time into like Bloodborne, I get there. You know, I could actually get to the point where I'm able to comfortably play Bloodborne and beat every single enemy without having to like strain myself in any way, shape, or form. But I'm tired of having to do that for like every game that I play. That I think after Dark Souls came out, a lot of game developers are like, oh, you know what gamers like? They like really hard games. And it's true, I do, sometimes, but like, if it's the only thing I do, I just end up kind of feeling tilted and frustrated all the time. And, you know, between job stress and burnout and other things, it's kind of one of those where, like, I think I lost my taste for games that are overly hard because I just wasn't enjoying them in the way that, like, I think I was supposed to. And so, like, this year especially, oh, big one was Silksong. I started playing Silksong and I got my face handed to me a billion times. And I was like, yeah, I'm just not vibing with this. And I see so many people enjoying it and thinking it's, like, one of the best games they've ever played. And I fully recognize it probably is. But for me, I just, like, could not bring myself to enjoy it. It was just hard enough that I wasn't going to have fun. And just hard enough that I didn't want to spend the time mastering it like I did with Hollow Knight. Even with Hollow Knight, I wasn't that good at it. You know, it took me a lot of tries to beat everything. And I definitely did not get past, like, some of the later challenges in the game. So in comparison, I'm actually, like, much more... I don't want to say compelled at the video game equivalent of watching paint dry, because I'm, like, actively participating in causing this paint dry with, like, 1,000 different goofy systems and layers and watching it dry at exponentially faster paces. Like, it's not actually... Would it be like grass grow, but you're like genetically modifying the grass so it grows at an absurd rate and starts conquering a planet? Probably. I think that's a maybe slightly better way of describing it, but it's one of those where, like, weirdly enough for me, I find this as compelling at this point, because I think it gives me time to just kind of be in the moment, rather than straining against a system that wants me dead over and over again. And so, admittedly, I'm just sitting here pressing the B key over and over and over again. I do kind of wish I had a couple more upgrades that I can mess around with. But, like, it's actually kind of fun watching just how much this thing has grown over the course of, what is this, maybe a 10, 15-minute period? Now, what I could do is actually leave this here. This is something that I do consider for certain idle incremental games, let it run for a couple of minutes, come back and buy a bunch of upgrades. The problem is just every single one of these upgrades actually has such a massive, if diminishing, it has a massive effect on the growth of this whole system, but it does have diminishing returns. That each upgrade, the first upgrade is the most pivotal, kind of, because then you actually start getting those multipliers rolling, but you get just that little bit extra bonus. But as the prices go up, you know, getting an additional 0.05 when you only have a 0.05, you know, that either is an infinite, well, maybe not an infinite upgrade. It's an upgrade, all the same, but the more you get of it, you know, 0.05 matters when you only have 0.05. Ooh, looks like we maxed this out. Oh, wait, okay. So I ascended red, so it's slowed down, but it's worth more now. I was wondering what happens when you hit level 100 on one of these. So it's much slower. Looks like it's still gaining the same multiplier gain. It's just slower because its value has gone up. Okay. What else do we have? Leaderboards. Yeah, not even close. What is my username? Wabo. Clearly. How am I rank? Oh, this is probably for the week. Maybe? No, there's definitely more people who have played this game than 6,000. I refuse to believe. I think I'm going to keep kind of pushing orange closer to its ascension level at this point, maybe. Problem is, it's going to take a while. So, no, I should probably just keep going for the cheapest upgrade. Oh, does it actually buy upgrades from top to bottom, regardless of price? Maybe. Okay, prestige window. Click 5 times to prestige. So, would this actually prestige me to the times 10 multiplier that it was talking about? I was assuming I'd prestige once I hit this point, but yeah, if we prestige at this point, that's huge. Okay, ascend a buyable. Done that. So it actually does look like there's a number of upgrades. Do we want to go into this? Buy a boost. I will get 1 into ascension power. Oh, I see. It gave me a couple points in each of these, except for ascension power. There's also time flux, but we're going to leave that alone. So I actually don't have enough money to buy anything else. But yeah, we didn't have any kind of bonuses for ascension power, so it didn't seem particularly important. I think I'm going to go for this. Because yeah, if that's a 10 times 10 multiplier, we could wait until it gets up to like times 20, 30, 40, something like that. It probably wouldn't take that long, but it's still good. Okay. Prestige for the first time, unlock multiple buy. Oh, that's what that number is. Accentuate your prestige multiplier and prestige. Oh. I think we're going to go for one on that. The exponential, though, we do want to save up for. Okay. Do we want to just buy 5? No, we should probably just... Oh. Let's just leave it on max. There we go. Wow, we're already... Oh. Interesting. Progress to infinity is based on how much money I currently have, or whatever that currency is. Okay. Yeah, so we might want to look at some really basic things. Buy blue, make a multiplier go over 1,000. Get enough souls that we can scale up the prestige exponential from 0.02 to 0.03. That might have been more valuable. And it looks like it can prestige whenever I want, but obviously right now it's not going to give me anything good. Oh, okay, so normally it's times 10, but it's times 10.3, so that's not actually that huge of an upgrade. It's there, it's good. But we're massively scaling up through the layers. You know, what took me 15 minutes to do took me, what, 2, give or take? I recognize that this is all just watching numbers go up, but there's something deeply satisfying and all the same, kind of that feeling of starting over and then doing it better the next time around. I think maybe, I don't know, I don't want to like deep psychoanalyze some of these things, but as a kid at the very least, I was always really obsessed with the idea of video games with New Game Plus. The idea of kind of doing the same thing all over again, but you're stronger, you've carried over skills, abilities, levels, equipment, money, whatever. I think the one disappointment I always had with that was that almost no game is actually designed to account for that story-wise. You know, it's not like you can New Game Plus in Skyrim, start over as this random dude in the cart. Oops, you've got endgame gear. Oops, you already know like all of the dragon shouts. Whatever the big bad dragon is shows up to wreck the town you're in and ruin your own execution, which honestly is a good thing. But it's not like you can suddenly attack him and kill him at the beginning of the game and it changes the whole story to, hey, this random guy just killed the super dragon that was like going to cause massive issues. You know, how do we now contend with this individual that has completely changed the fate of reality? Maybe there are some games that actually do get into this. I know like Nier Automata kind of has further routes, but they're just continuing the story. It's a chapter system, not New Game Plus. And I'm trying to think of other games that like really let you lean into the New Game Plus, and I'm kind of coming up with a blank, unfortunately. It might be one of those that like it happens more than I think. But I certainly can't think of any stories that do so. I think I've always been kind of hooked on that because it's just like being able to carry the work that you did before into something new and seeing where that takes you. I'm trying to figure out if the value of my currency correlates to this. No, it's got to be logarithmic. Because there's no way it's a flat value. Yeah, this is going up way faster than this is. Yeah, so we could go from 10.75 to 11.85. I don't think that's worth it. I think if we get it up to an additional times 10, maybe. But I think we're just going to let this roll for a while. Do we want to get up to that billion? No, we're still ways off. Are we? I don't know, maybe we do save up for this. It's not too far away, and this gives me a chance to drink some water. Okay, so maybe it took a little bit longer to get to a billion than just the time it takes me to drink some water. Luckily, I splashed some water on my glasses. So I have to clean my glasses off, and we're still not going to get up to this billion. I need to find some other reason for me to not just keep hitting that B key over and over again. I mean, it's fine. I really can afford to be patient here. Oh. Did that reduce the price? Or did I buy No? Huh. Oh, the price of these was scaling up based on buying maximum. That's why. I was like, wow, some of these got really expensive when I was paying attention. I guess going for the billion upgrade makes sense, but the answer is that's the cost it would cost to buy the maximum amount of whatever the thing is. Okay, let's get this up to its ascension level. Because it's close to 100, and that's going to increase our base by a massive, massive quantity. ascend it. So it goes from 56, 57 to... Oh, I see. I guess, oh, because we've been going that much faster, it hasn't accrued quite as much value as it did previously. Oh, that's fine. The developers had asked as part of this video for me to somewhat highlight the endgame updates. I don't think we're even going to tickle endgame today. This might be one of those where I actually go off and record a different video. You know what? Maybe that's what I do. I think I might let this sit for a little while. We've seen what this stage of the game is. I'm going to let this build up while I go work on other things for the day. I'll just leave this in another window, press B every once in a while to just like super max some of my... I'm gonna switch this to 1 actually. That way we're more likely to buy from multiple tiers as opposed to all in on one thing. But yeah, let this go. Actually play this as a proper idle game. You can play it super actively and it really does scale how fast you grow, but it still grows on its own fairly quickly if you just leave it running. And so it's one of those where, yeah, I might just let this run for an hour or two while I record other games. Come back and we'll have like a gazillion money and big prestige bonus, and then we can do another loop. Because I kind of like that about it, idle incremental games, that it is one of those where it's one of the few games where I can actually play it, but in the middle of an episode, like take a break, go play something else while also still kind of paying attention to this one, and it doesn't feel weird. Too many other games where I'm like, yeah, I did some off-camera grinding, and all of a sudden, like, the whole core experience is completely different. I'm not going to touch any new mechanics. Like, if we manage to get up to an infinity, I sure as heck am not going to show that in, or start that off camera. Okay, so I might have left this run for, it was like half an hour, give or take. Maybe an hour? Did this reset? I have no idea. Oh no, I don't want to quit the game. I just don't want that boop to be quite as loud. Anyway, we are up into the quintillions. We are still only like 6 of the way to infinity, which is a little shocking, baffling, but that's okay. So the question is, do I prestige right now? Do I wait? I mean, this is ticking up kind of fast. And it's not exactly slowing down, largely because I got up to this point. Let's take a look. I mean, we get times 6 mult to mult gain, so that's good. And I guess if we take a look at the shop, I only have 1,600. I was thinking of buying 0.1 prestige exponential. Let's go at 500. Just keep it clean. That's a nice, good percentage. And go from there. Because I don't know how many more resources we have than this. Presumably quite a while yet. And maybe it's even one of those that we have to ascend. Yeah, it looks like red is getting really close to ascending a second time around. Is this quintillion? Something like that. Okay. There we go. That should be pretty good. And now we're at 500. So this is going to go just that much faster. Okay, prestige twice. So we're getting there. But a lot of these are very, very far away. And that's fine. Holy shit. It took almost no time for this to get absurdly fast. Okay. Yeah, so what do we do? Do we want to switch this to 5? Let's just do max. Buy max of everything. Originally I was trying to do it so it would just like buy one of each, but now it's just go ham. Whenever I've like checked out for a little bit, buy as many things of whatever I have available. And just kind of keep looping. I do actually, it's an interesting push and pull with incremental games. The desire to prestige, I played another one kind of recently, whose entire stated goal was to prestige without actually prestiging. So effectively you go to a new level, it was harder. You didn't lose any of your upgrades, you just kind of lost your power scaling, but you'd still unlocked all of the like interesting utility and abilities. They just were comparatively weaker to the challenge at hand. And what's the point where you actually unlock the ability to prestige again, considering it seems to be missing at the moment? Oh well. Let's see, what was I going to say about this? But yeah, so effectively the game got progressively harder, while still kind of maintaining much of its, I don't want to say like incremental nature. Well, okay, it got harder without losing any of its like mechanical depth. And I'm really curious about this with this whole prestiging situation and infinity, eternity, unity. That how many different of these things like reset what? Does everything get reset? Does only certain things get reset? I mean, obviously we're gaining at this absurdly high multiplier with every single loop, to the point where getting up to 1 billion, which took, you know, a solid drink of water, clean the glasses, and then waiting around for a little bit. Now we've just like smoothly slid straight up to 1 billion without even thinking about it. There we go. I think. No, there we go. I wonder if there's a way to change the new gameplay. Reset speed on warp. Ow. 1-click prestige, 1-click enter challenge. Safety lock, select prestige. Ascend all upgrades. Apply the prestige. Let's see. Promotion power, stop play. No, doesn't look like any of those. I was hoping I could change it so that the buy all would actually specifically go like buy cheapest to most expensive. As it stands, it does top to bottom, which I think is fine. Just not how I'd sort it if I could change my setup around. Let's see. I'm curious how much, like, okay, so obviously we are here, and we've got a couple of boosts going. I do really wonder how different this game feels if you've maxed all of these out. I bet it still takes a long time to get places. Because yeah, each of this is a, what, 20% boost? So that's, you can get up to 200% multiplier, or is that like 500% income? Lapse and ascension power? Like, I bet it's actually absurd. But it would be expensive though, because I think these get pricier as you get them. I'm really curious. I'm sure somebody has done that at this point, just from a like sheer curiosity state, because so much of these games kind of feel like if you skip too much, you're not really playing the game at all. You kind of have to have that level of like baseline grind to get to the point where you can really appreciate the incremental nature, the started from nothing and became absurd. And so if you start absurd, you lose a little bit of that. Looks like orange is about to ascend. Perfect. I think I'll have to try a loop at some point where I don't ascend anything, so it's just a giant, colorful circle. It's probably not worth it, but it'll probably be doable with more upgrades. And where did the prestige thing go? Like, the prestige window is just kind of poofed on us. Unless it's one of those where it won't show back up again until we've hit some kind of new threshold. Or I broke it. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that... I don't want to say, like, hands of Midas, but for game design problems and or bugs. But, I have a heightened chance of breaking a game in like a weird or buggy way, compared to probably most other people. I was born to QA for games. I'll say that much. I don't want to say that, like, I've managed to drive at least one indie game developer from development, because it just wasn't worth it for them. There was a game I played a long time ago, and I don't think I can claim all the credit for this, but the developer was making, like, a really neat, like, tavern sim kind of game that I actually liked, which is rare. I usually hate those. But I'd run into, like, a massively game-breaking bug on the, like, pre-alpha demo that he put up, and he fixed it for me, and then a couple weeks later says, I can't do this anymore, I'm not working on this game. And I always have to wonder, was just the act of having to fix my save file, it was probably other things, it can't just, I was the straw that broke the camel's back. But it does feel kind of weird that I possibly contributed to a developer saying, I actually don't want to be an indie developer anymore. And that feels strange and weird, mostly from the perspective of, like, if I hadn't found that bug, would things have changed? Luckily, I'm sure it's going to show back up again. I don't think I need to prestige anytime soon. Maybe it's one of those that won't let me prestige until... Oh. Maybe it won't let me prestige until I catch back up to my progress to infinity. Or something like that. Like, there's a certain threshold where the window will show up, and that window is roughly where it actually would make a difference. Prior to that, why would you bother prestiging? I'm going to assume that's the case, but I have no idea. Or I just need to relaunch the game. I also don't know. I would love to see a full breakdown of the math for this. Because I'm not actually sure. I mean, we know 1.4 trillion per revolution. I actually do not know what this is up here. Because it's 1.456 whatever billion to the 107th power. I'm assuming that's from the prestige, because 107 was the exponential. Huh, we could actually ascend yellow, even though it's not a full circle at this point. I guess it makes sense. The further out you go, the slower it is. So never mind, I guess we can't go for the fully filled in target circle. Let's see. That's getting like halfway to the next one. Well, do we want to leave it here for a little while? We're more or less where we stopped for a pause last time. I think we actually know, because I hadn't even bought blue the last time. So, like, with every single tier that I hit, we do go that much farther. But I think I might leave it here. Things are slowing down just enough that I think I could let this play itself. Record another video, come back, and make some more progress. I think that's the way to go, rather than just kind of sit here and press the button over and over, making smaller incremental progress. Okay, so I stepped away for like a couple of minutes, and we're already here, so we can prestige for like an absurd bonus. What is promote? Promotions. When you click on a promotion, it'll reset your prestige and what prestige resets. But you gain a bonus. Oh my gosh, okay. Do I want to do that? So, multiplier gain, lapse speed, ascension power, promotions power. The problem is I don't know how much experience I have to spend, because we could also just reset here for a... I guess this is ultimately only a 4 times bonus. Only click one. Only one click to promote. So do we only get 1 bonus? Oh, shoot. Just realized I have the game muted. There we go. I mean, it seems like I have to do this. The main question is, do I get more? And do I want the multi gain or the speed? I think we want the speed more than anything. Okay, so unfortunately that puts us back to the very beginning. So yeah, we only got 1. Oh boy, this is stuff. So the main reason why I wanted speed is every time we Well, I don't know. Maybe the malt game would have been good. I'm just thinking this increases my speed by just a little. I have no idea. Okay, so I was kind of trying to talk about this earlier about how this game has like wild amounts of prestige systems. And you're prestiging often too. Like that's something I find interesting. You know, I was bringing up this other game that was prestiging without prestiging. This is prestiging on prestiges with more prestiges for those prestiges. So your prestiges can prestige while you're slowly just working your way up, kicking you back up down to the very bottom with a small bonus to make things go a little bit faster with each and every prestige. And it is wild because I'm already lost. Because I have no idea what the optimum is. It seems like the best thing to do would be truly to get as many of these bonuses as I possibly can get. Purely from the perspective of, I'm assuming you don't lose these, right? Maybe. Okay, reach Ascension 2. Promote for the first time. Buy white, 1.1 exponential, play for 5 hours. Unscaled playtime. Now I'm trying to figure out which of these are going to be good. Have a level 10 promotion. All promotions at least level 10. Promotion 4 is a bit stronger. Okay. A prestige with only 3 colors. Huh. Promote without prestiging and ascensions. Okay, yeah, some of these are going to be nuts. So yeah, I think we want to get as many promotions as we possibly can get. They just take some time. I think we want to prestige as soon as we can prestige. I think, unfortunately, prestiging doesn't show up until you hit, like, I want to say it was roughly 1 billion. We're still very much in the, like, low thousands. So this is going to take a little while for us to get back up to anything. But that's okay. Like I said, this is going to be somewhat of a piecemeal thing. Whenever we find something new, I'm going to record it, talk about it, you know, delve into it as much as I can, and then leave it for there. But it does feel like we're going to have to leave this for a time. I wish I could actually look at these boxes more. It just tells me what the levels are. But I do want to mull over whether or not my choice was correct. I just like speed, alright? Anyway. Yeah, I'll pick this back up again when it's time for me to prestige, or maybe after I've prestiged a couple times. Alright, so I've been leaving this running kind of off and on for the whole day. Apparently you can promote multiple times. I wish this had been a little bit more obvious, but I totally get it. Promotions power would be very tempting, but I don't think that's going to help me too much. So I can buy any of these things. I think I'm going to go for the mole gain. Wow, that's huge. So now every time this goes up, instead of being was it 0.1? 0.05, whatever it is, the scale at which these things gain is so much higher than it had been. I don't think we're going to make it to infinity on this video. I was kind of hoping I'd manage to make it there. Wow, we've already made it to a full circle. Yeah, so those promotions are actually extremely good. I just should have stuck it out and let it grind for a while passively in the background. How was I supposed to know? But yeah, that's up to level 6 now. And so if we can get, you know, a couple more promotions, we can get even more. I love how fast this goes. Like, this is purely without a single prestige, just the promotions alone. And I do wonder about, like, I'm sure we're going to get to a point where we even promote our prestige. I don't know, man. What do I have? I actually have a decent amount. I'm going to boost my prestige increment. There we go. That was something I was hoping to buy earlier, but didn't have enough souls for. It's fascinating how much just like a little bit of time. Yeah, we get the first prestige just up to the ×10 because it takes almost no time to get there. And then I think we wait to like prestige at 1,000 or something like that. Like, we don't need to prestige much, but a ×10 multiplier on top of everything else is just goofy good. Let's see. What was I going to say on this one? I don't know. It's one of those that I truly could just leave this running for hours and hours, check back in every 5 minutes and go from there. I've always thought of that from like recording incremental games and, you know, potentially doing series or series-based content on incremental games if you really want to put time into it. The other option I have is like incremental soup, where I'm playing like 7 different incremental games simultaneously. Where it's just like, oh yeah, let's check out how far, you know, idle loops is gone. Let's just hold B for a couple of minutes, get all, or maybe not minutes, but, you know, for a little bit, and grab all the upgrades that I've been looking for. Or, you know, that I can afford with the amount of money that I've stocked up in the meantime. And then switch back to some other incremental game and just kind of rinse repeat that for a while. It actually is like a fairly good system. I've done it before. It's something I may consider. It's just a matter of like, oh gosh, there's so many games coming out all the time. I think that's the other kind of appeal for one of these incremental games, is that they're easy for me to pick up and put down. I do not have to think about playing them actively. I do not have to think about like seeing the end of them. Like, there is a temptation, you know, I've always wanted to see, you know, what lies at the end of Cookie Clicker or this game, or, you know, some of the other like extremely long, extremely big incremental games and idle games and whatnot. But it is also one of those where it's like totally comfortable for me to just say, you know, leave it on my side monitor, get to it when I get to it. Maybe I'll record videos on it, maybe I'll just kind of play on my own. So many other games, you really have to sit down and you have to play them all the way to the end. And if you don't, you kind of lose track of them. So if I promote at this point, we only get 0.1. If I'd waited just a little bit longer, we could have actually gotten that up. I wish it was a little bit more obvious how close I was to getting the next level. Because yeah, that would have been a small bonus. Actually, maybe it wouldn't have... Oh, I see. No, I don't. It doesn't matter. So at what point do I prestige again? We're already up to like times 3,000. The problem is we're scaling so stupidly high that it feels kind of silly to prestige now. Do we prestige at 10k? It doesn't seem outlandish, except for the fact that we're actually accelerating. Which means that if I prestige again, I can only imagine we're going to accelerate more. The wild part is we're still only at 8% of the way to infinity. Like, earlier I was just like, oh man, you know, this is logarithmic, right? And the answer is yes, crushingly so. Yeah, I think we prestige at 10k. Because otherwise, I'm just going to keep waiting and getting places. But, going from times 10 to times 10k, that's an 1,000 times bonus. Yeah, we're already in the billions. And so, like, with this, yeah, +5. But if I keep waiting, we can get that up to, like, +50 or something like that. And I think that's kind of the point of the promotions. My main fear with them is that I grind out a ton of promotions only to find out that they get reset too. And I'm assuming whatever you do to reset is worth it. That it gives you some other big bonus or unlocks a new system that gives you even more resources. I do find the flashing. I guess I don't have to hold B here. I can just press B occasionally instead. Yeah, that's probably better. Wow, we've already caught up to where we were at. That's insane. That took, what, half a minute, if even? I have started recording for 6 minutes, or recording this segment 6 minutes ago. And we've already gotten to, like, this degree of absurdity. Even to the point where, yeah, we're cruising up to times 100,000. Honestly, I think I'm going to wait until it's, like, times 1,000,000 or something. Unless there's something else. I mean, how are we doing on progress to infinity? Nah, we're still a fair ways out. And yeah, this is ticking up like crazy. Yeah, it's just a matter of where my limits are, where I'm even looking for that. Check credits. Oh, sure. That's an easy little one. What else we have? Get a times 1 million P multiplier. 1.2 exponential. Level 10 promotion. Every promotion up to level 10. So I think that might be it. That we want to try and get each of these. Yeah. So next level will be level 6. So we maybe... I don't think we promote until we get those to level 10. Because that seems like an easy and obvious goal to aim for. Yeah, do I want the Ascension Power? I think so. Because I think Ascension Power is how this specifically handles... It's like multiply gain? I have no idea, actually. Oh, we're past 1 million. Well, sure. It took half a second for us to get into the billions. And that's another achievement right there. Yeah, so actually using this... What the heck is VG? I don't even know how many... what power that is 10 to the power of. Okay, still level 8. Yeah, so we want to get to... Wait until this gets up to... Instant jumps one of these to level 10. Because I think at this point we have enough gain. And should only reset when we actually hit that point. I should have been thinking about that. Because yeah, let the achievements kind of guide me in terms of how far we go. I know eventually we also get like auto buyers, so we don't even have to think about pressing buttons, and we can just let the game run itself entirely. Let's see. Yeah, make all malts be over 1,000. Have level 10 promotion. Promote without prestiging. That's going to be tricky, but doable. Make base malt gain be over 1. You malt by 1,000. Prestige multiplier by... Or not 1,000, 1 million. Oh, so like going from 10k to 1 million. Okay, so that actually wouldn't be too bad. Promote without prestiging and ascensions. Oof. Easy prestige. I don't think so. Let's see. Red, orange, and yellow are at 6th ascension. Yeah, some of these are a little bit doable. Yeah, ascension 3. It's going to take a while, though. Oh, level 10. Well, do we do ascension power? I think so. That does kick us back to the very beginning, unfortunately. But, hey. That's at least up to level 10. I think maybe then we go back to these two. Maybe. It does make things slow down a little bit, but it's still easy enough for me to catch up. I mean, we started this 10 minutes ago by promoting. I think I just don't quite understand how Ascension Power scales. Like, it's obviously extremely good and has a massive effect. Yeah, I forget what the point is that we unlock Prestige. But I think more or less as soon as we get our first Prestige, we Prestige. And then work our way up. I just don't think I'm going to go for... jump straight to... I guess I couldn't jump straight to 1 million, could I? I could. I think we're going to need the promotions first, though. Oh, got another one. Yep, level 10 promotion. Oh, you know what I haven't been doing? Let's turn that on. I've got a fair bit of time flux to make things go faster. Let's just turn on ×3 speed for a while. I've banked it. I might as well use it for this video. There we go. So, question, yeah, I guess we went straight to 25 on this one. Question is mainly, where is my stopping point? I mean, the acceleration on this is nutty. I feel like going for something like the 1 million jump is something better done off camera, or off camera, just kind of on my own. Something that actually requires patience. Right now, we are trying to go for as much immediate oomph as we possibly can in, you know, the last bits of this video. I was hoping to get to infinity, but I think that's going to require a lot of off-camera grind. Or I'm a lot closer to it than I think, but considering how, you know, logarithmically, we're only hovering at about the 10% mark, and it slows down heavily before we even get there, I'm not expecting to really make it to infinity for a couple of hours, if even. Wow, I was going to stop at the 50k mark, but we've blown past that. It might be one of those that I can wait until we get the 25 million mark. It's going to take a bit, but that would be, I mean, get an achievement out of the way real quick. Yeah, jump one of these straight to level 5. Ooh, that's tough. 25 million is still a little ways away, but I mean, it does feel like we're going faster. Like, it's a ways away, but also no time at all. I do wonder what the upper level of prestige is, if you can even... Let's see. If you can even, or not prestige, promoting, like how high you can get those. And yeah, when's the point where we reset them and feel despair? Because I've definitely had some games like that, some prestiges where you're like, yeah, it's a good time for me to prestige, and then that just crushing realization that no, that was like the worst possible time for it. Now I have to like claw my way back up. I get like a small boost and that's it. And barely. Most games nowadays just let you immediately go back to prestige. This one, obviously, every choice is a correct answer. There's almost no wrong answers. Which makes it very easy to just kind of progress through. Do I want to go back to... Let's go back to the shop. I do have 1,000. Not that I can spend it on anything. I wanted to see these. Were there any that I, like, felt... I did not notice the hamster crew. Yeah, I don't feel like I need any of these. The black hole could have been kind of fun. Okay. Yeah, still a little ways off. Oh, that's the shop multiplier there. This must be the, oh, P-mult at the end. Yeah, so we're going to get this up to 26 million. And we got the, yep, multiply your P-mult by 1 million in 1 prestige. Cripes, man. We just insta-jumped to quadrillion. Where are we at on the, you know, honestly, I think we can wait a little bit, make use of this, rather than just immediately promoting. Well, we've definitely made progress to infinity. It's starting to make space noises at me. That's usually a good sign. Like, usually when the game is making space noises at you, you know you've done something vaguely correct. Do we think we can make it to infinity here? I don't know. Do we want to actually prestige it again? Maybe. Oh, Vigintillion score. What? Okay. I think we're just going to ride this wave. We're going to go from 25 million to 25 billion. Okay, reach the 1.2 exponential. Well, that's probably good. Where are you at? Level 18. Oh, gods. Yeah, it would be nice to promote at this point, but I think we're going to wait on that one for a little while at least. I just want to see if I can get to infinity. And this is only getting faster with every loop. Like, some other... I've played a couple of other, like, really heavy idle games. I remember playing one while I was really sick at a cabin, and it was just make all malts be over 1,000. Oh boy, here we go. We're just racking up those Chivos. Well, do we want to wait until we get to 30 trillion? It does feel like it's slowing down just a little bit. And a 30 trillion prestige wouldn't be a bad idea. Jumping up by 1,000 every single time. And the problem is we're still hanging at about 30% of the way to infinity. Yeah, now it's slowing down. But yeah, being really sick while playing a different idle game, and it was just hours before you could even make like a meaningful sniff of progress. Oops, I've overshot that 30 billion. I don't know, do we just do 100 trillion? Yeah, I think so. Just hit it immediately. Oh god, where are we? I think we've shot past. Well, no, we haven't caught quite back up. Where is this at? Level 27. I don't even know which of these I'd want. Power-wise. The problem is I don't know what promotions power gets me. What was the new one? Yeah. So the question is, while we are making some serious progress, the top bar is freaking the hell out. Yeah, while we've made insane progress here, we are still hanging at about the 30 mark. I might honestly have to consider doing a wipe. The question is, do we want the speed? No, I think we want the malt cane. Even if we already have a couple levels in malt cane. Well, I guess we're also getting pretty close to a 100 quadrillion. What was the new one? Yeah, decent DTG score. I just don't think I'm going to be able to make meaningful progress without these promotions. Once again with the spaceship noises. Yeah, I just don't know when I get off the bus. Yeah, because we've already gotten back up to 30% of the way to infinity. Because every time I gain these multipliers, it only takes a little bit to get back up there because that multiplier is so just absurdly high. Yeah, so now we're making progress again. What's this looking like? Because I think we're having diminishing returns here. Yeah, I'm going to shoot myself in the foot. Well, I don't know, actually. This is feeling pretty damn good. Does that promote without prestiging? Okay. We might actually be able to promote without prestiging or ascending. I might need a couple of upgrades, though. I want to get this up to level 10. Okay, I think this was the correct decision. I apologize that this is probably a lot of flashing, which is maybe not the most kosher, but... Okay, level 11. Yeah, so we already have that speed. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Let's just promote again, actually. Or do we? No. Let's just do a very quick prestige. What the hell is going on here? Wow. It took, like, no time whatsoever. Okay, let's go for the promotions power. So this time I'm going to try and promote without prestiging, period. There we go. Oh, it won't let me. Oh. Because it was promote without prestiging or ascending. Oh, I did get it. Promote without prestiging. But this one, promote without prestiging and ascensions. That probably would have been easier earlier. This one's doable. We just have to wait for it. Because yeah, had I waited until if I hadn't gone for this one and had gone for like one of the other ones. Okay. Got it. Okay, prestige with only 3 colors. Oh. There we go. Got that one done. 6th Ascension. All promotions be at least level 50. Reach infinity. We might actually be able to make this in one video. Okay, time to go to space. Now that we've got some of the low-hanging ones, let's restart before we go too freaking high. I think I'm gonna just skip billion and quadrillion. We'll stop at trillion. Okay. So, what's the next achievement? Everything up to level 50. That's doable. Let's wait until one of these is listed at 50 and then reset. We might make it to infinity yet. I think I'm going to start with a lap speed. We're not doing the flashing anymore. Everything is just solid. Let's just reset. I don't even buy upgrades anymore. I just ascend. Well, I think that's our multiplier. I think it can wait. Oh, hell yeah. Got the red, orange, and yellow at their 6th Ascension. Let's see. Backwards. Huh. White malt greater than pink malt. I don't know if I can do that. That would take some doing. And some hella passives. Well, yeah. Let's just go for that. Okay. Prestige again. Not that we need it. Rainbow, make all circles go solid. I'm finding all sorts of achievements today. Let's see. Yeah, how are we on this whole path to infinity thing? Pretty absurdly good. I guess it is entirely possible. No. Yeah, I don't think it's possible at the moment. So that's the 64. I think we get this up to 50 something next. I should probably prestige at this point. Okay, and we've already caught back up. And it just goes crazy. Next is level 58. I could probably go a little higher. It is kind of funny, but at this point it's like, yeah, get everything up to level 50, and I'm just like, that's inefficient. I must go farther. Yeah, we're at 56. I think this crazy promotion scheme is working. I think we're hitting our limit there. Yeah, so we want to get probably Ascension power up next. Oh, right. we're starting with a regular multiplier. Go figure we were slow. Let's see. Level 40 already. That's the wild part. Early promotions, I was like, yeah, it kind of sucks. We go back down. You know, it's a worthwhile upgrade, but it feels like we're a little slow. B. Okay. Yeah, probably good time to prestige. I do hope we get the ability to auto-buy at some point, but I'm assuming that's something we get access to later. Do we do it now? Sure. That's good enough. I'm gonna go into the options. Apply the prestige. We want to do one click to prestige. No point holding ourselves back. Okay. Next level is level 50. I mean, we could. Yeah, it takes like a couple seconds to catch back up to where we are. I think we're making, ooh, 77. Yeah, like a handful of seconds to catch up. And 92. Let's get that up to a clean 100, I think. Yeah, it was nice to get a bunch of those achievements out of the way real quick. And 97. Almost there. 98. Yeah, it's slowing down just a smidge. 99. Come on. I'm pressing the buttons. Give me the 100. Promotions power. I don't actually know what promotions power does exactly. Okay, all promotions times 1.1 to all mults. That's good stuff. Okay. Yeah, so the question is, I mean, do we just get everything up to 100? I guess the main question is, how far am I from infinity? 61% is obviously pretty damn close. Wow, look at it go. 70, 80. Ooh, we might actually just make it here. 85. Spog, a spoog. Oog. I actually wish it was writing these out or something just so I could know what nog is and oog is. Okay, let's just... Yeah, with how absolute... Wait. Infinity reached. Well, alright, so what's that do? Infinity. Generator G1 multiplier multiplied by infinities and unlock automation and auto buy. Currently, okay, buying that. Automations. All of them. 10%? 50%? 100%? I'm just going to leave it on. Oh, so we also have another booster if we wanted to pick it up. So increases your infinite gain. Generator multiplier, some other things. Ooh, and the Cosmos skin, which actually does look very nice. I might consider it. Okay, so here's the question. Are we back to the very freaking beginning? I think so. Like, we're obviously still scaling up faster, but we don't have any of our promotions, so those are gone. Unlock automation, bonus to generator, help. Time flux achievements, infinity. Okay, infinity will be forced resetting everything promote does, as well as promotions. There are many upgrades that will boost your progress. Double click to buy an upgrade. Generators produce each other. Generator, okay. When you produce infinity upgrades 7-1, you'll unlock infinity FTO challenges, break infinity, and some other stuff. So unfortunately for this, we're going to need infinity points. So every time we hit infinity, we get an infinity point, presumably. Oh, we have generators. Generator power. Okay, first generator costs, a lot of IP. well, I guess we're leaving that for later and probably calling it a day because it's going to take a while to work our way back up, even though we are very clearly speeding things along in a nice and satisfying manner. And now that I know the yeah, this just automates buyables, but only for the buyables. It doesn't actually ascend them. That's fine. Now prestige once. But yeah, now that I know that save up for promotions just to get more than one of them, like the first promotion just to double your base value actually does speed things along nicely. But even by the point you can afford that, it's probably easier and better to get a little bit more than that. You know, wait until you can get it up to level 5 or even 10 or something. Anywho, I guess with all of this said, it's a very good stopping point for me. We hit infinity, we reached a whole new tier of progress, and there's something about eternity, and I have no idea what that's going to be and when we get to it. So for now, I guess I might as well mention, once again, oh gosh, a lot of details. So first and foremost is the most obvious one. Revolution Idol is available on, well, okay, so it's actually on more than most. Usually I do not bother with mobile games, but this is available on Steam, Android, and iOS. So if you do want to pick it up and play it yourselves, it's available on all of them. And I believe, unless I'm mistaken, yep, progress is synced across all platforms. You'll have to, I think you have to sign in some way, shape, or form. But that means that, yeah, if you want to have the infinite mesmerizing, you know, little, I'm gonna say it's a fidget spinner. It's a digital fidget spinner. It's just got layers. If you want the infinite digital fidget spinner on your phone and you want to be able to kind of cycle between it and PC, yeah, just follow the link in the description below and it'll lead you straight to it. And also as a reminder that if you do decide to pick it up and play it yourselves, use the GOREVO, GOREVO code to get a small starting boost, which actually does help. Anyway, I guess with all of that said, I do want to say a very quick thank you to Oni Gaming for reaching out and sponsoring this video. It was very kind of you. It was a ton of fun. I've been meaning to play this game for a while, but I do find a lot of full idle games a little intimidating, and I think, yeah, kind of picking it up and putting it down over the course of a full day of recording actually worked out great for me. Because, yeah, by the end of the day, I was able to go absolutely ham and go straight to infinity. And I think I'm going to be able to do that pretty easily, that, you know, with subsequent runs too. Though that's obviously probably going to take a couple hours. Anyway, I guess with all that said, if you like this video in any way, shape, or form, leave me a like. It helps more than you know. And if you want to see more rad new games every single day, then hit subscribe because I got tons to check out and show off. Well, for now, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.